Hi, this is our astrology corner. We're the K3, and this is where we kind of just, play with astrology and people we like. And the word that we get on the street a lot is Kim Jae Wook. So we have seen that people really enjoyed our individual ones for each sign, and so I figured we'd just jump back in, use Kim Jae Wook as a springboard, and we will talk some Aries peoples. Yes. So good. Ooh. Aries is a great sign. So Aries,
what kind of sign?
Aries is a fire sign. Fire. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So it's the first sign. So basically, it's a very individualistic sign. It's all about self. It can be perceived as kind of a little bit of a selfish sign in many ways because it's so individually focused. It will leap into the fray before it thinks, and then once it gets there, then it's like, maybe should have rethought that. So that's a lot.
Like, so it's a leader. It
it's
has a leadership
very much a leader.
Quality.
A lot of it's ruled by Mars. So it gets shit done. It doesn't really have a plan for getting shit done, but it'll
jump in there and
just
start doing things.
You know, when we talked about Jung Hyo-jin when we did our big roundup of all the shows that everyone was kind of like mixing and mingling, our sliding doors show. He just kind of gets shit done, and he's a little hot tempered, and he's just all that kind of stuff. When we talked about that,
could be impatient in real life, perhaps.
Impatient because things are not going my way. Like it's very much that energy, but it also it's their leaders. It's all about that energy of I am, and that's just you just either accept it or you don't. So that brings us to Kim Jae Wook. And we all love Kim Jae Wook, right, guys?
Yes.
I mean, we just came off of her private life. Oh my God!
Talk about hot.
And so just look at the character that he played, right?
Yeah.
He rolled in. He had very definitive ideas. He pretty much didn't care what anybody else thought.
It's like I'm the director.
Yeah, done. That's a very Aries trait. But I think what we all were mostly drawn to, and I think what worked for us mostly the most. I don't even know if that's a word. We discussed before whether he was a Scorpio or a I think it was Sag moon. We were debating what kind of moon he was. I think he's totally a Scorpio moon. Like he had so much just raw sexuality. That's just a very Scorpionic I see.
Like Yeon is.
Yeah, it's just that whole yes. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so visceral.
Do you really have to?
You really don't. I think we all saw that. So if you really look at Kim Jae Wook, so his Sun, his Mercury, and his Mars are all in Aries. So this is a man
he's literally on fire.
He's literally on fire. he is not in this world to play second fiddle. He is here to do well. He is here to take the charge. He is here to be in the lead, and he really doesn't give a fuck what you think. Except when you look at maybe his Venus. His Venus is in Taurus. And so I think
And Venus represents what again?
Venus represents how you relate to your relationships, how you see love, how you love and how you like to be loved, basically. And so
in any kind of love relationship.
Yeah, any kind. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's just how you relate to other people, essentially. And so in Taurus, it's very much it's a much gentler. It's very much more feminine. Aries, masculine. Scorpio, feminine, but kind of that dark feminine. And then Taurus is just very delicately feminine. Right?
Okay.
And so it's all about pretty things and being secure and self-worth and making sure that everything it makes you feel good. It's that kind of thing. And so I think we saw that, and I think that's what made him so compelling in her private life is because all of that aggressive,
the hurt child who's abandoned,
and he played that so well. I think what we saw in her private life is we saw all of the aggressive stuff that I think we find kind of that manliness that we find really attractive. But then what I think especially for women, we want to know that he is a kind, caring person underneath. And I think that's where that sensitive artist, I think we got that with him because of that Taurus Venus. And I think in a lot of others, they don't really have that. And so they just come off as aggressive. And some people are really into that, and some people are not.
But he's played characters that have been both mostly aggressive, and then other ones that do have that sensitive side.
And so I think her private life allowed him to tap into more of that Taurus energy, which was, I think, what made it so delicious. All right, so that's Kim Jae Wook. So if we move on to some of our other favorite Aries, we're actually going to go with one of our favorite female Aries, and that's Gong Hyo-jin, right?
Yes.
She's so cool. Like, she's so cool, right?
Such a cool person.
So but she's got that Aries, she's only got the one Aries, though. It's just her sun. So that's pretty much, so it's kind of, I think that's what we get from her, is like what you see is what you get, and that's her sun. But then if you dig a little deeper, her moon also in Scorpio, so she's got that dynamic that you can't turn away from. And I think that is what is universal about that scorpionic energy. There is something about scorpionic energy that very few people cannot pay attention to.
Yeah, she has amazing screen presence.
She just does.
So, yeah.
Like, you can't not watch her.
Yeah.
And so she's got that moon, right? For sure. We know this for sure because of the day she was born, regardless of what time during that day, it's going to land in Scorpio somewhere. Where Kim Jae Wook, depending on what time of day, it's going to shift somewhere else. But we know for sure she's a Scorpio moon, right? But then she's got she's a Pisces Mercury. So for her, communication is not about concrete facts. It's about feeling. And I think that's what makes her such a good actor. Because the way she relates to the word is not, these are my lines. I will say my lines like this. She's like, ooh, my lines make me feel like this. And that's why I think, so you couple that with the way she emotionally relates to things and that Scorpio energy, it's just, that's why we're so into her.
So Master Sun, where she was forever being taken over by other ghosts, you can really see that because you totally bought that she was a cat for that moment or whatever.
Exactly.
It would have been really silly otherwise, right? But she did it so well.
But she did, because that's for her, communication is feeling. So she can tap into that cat. She's like, I'm a cat, done.
Yeah.
You know, where I think a lot of other actors would be like, how does a cat act? Like, she's just like, I feel like a cat, done. And that's how she does it. So that's what's so amazing about her. And then you look at her Mercury, and not Mercury, but her Venus. And her Venus, she's so fascinating to me because she's kind of got like this, just a collection of all sorts of energies in here. And it's Gemini. So the way she relates to people and the way she wants to like deal with people, that becomes a very communicative way. So it's really interesting. The way she communicates is all feeling, but the way she relates to people is all communication. And it's a fascinating mix.
Yeah, if you follow her on Instagram, you can see she's got this really tight crew of friends.
Yeah.
And she's also, she's international, right? So she'll be at these fashion shows in Italy or whatever, and then she'll be on vacation with her friends and eating. And it's just, definitely got this. Well, also, I think that's part of being a really superstar actor in Korea. Yeah, like, who do you trust? But that probably plays into that.
Totally plays into that. And so, she's got that. She can communicate really well with them. She basically also, the way she communicates is all through feeling. So she's also, but because of the Gemini, I think because of the Gemini, that's what gives us that kind of like aloof thing about her that I think we get a lot. Between the Aries and the Gemini, that gives us our aloofness. Because Geminis, while they want to chat with you and they'll totally chat with you, they don't want to get really deep. It's like, I only want to, it's a surface thing. It's not a scorpionic thing where I want to get
a little bit about a lot of things.
Exactly. And so the way she relates to people is like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I'm going to go over here. So good. Good. Good.
I get it. She doesn't seem super approachable.
No. But she'll be really nice to you if you do approach her.
Yeah.
But if you're in her crew, tight, because you got that Scorpio and you got that Pisces, and then you got the Leo Mars. And the Leo Mars,
remind me about Mars.
Mars is the way you take action. And the way she takes action and the way she kind of like makes her mark out there and interacts with people is Leo. And that's like, I'm a kind of benevolent ruler. And so she kind of, right? So she's got to be that person that is in charge. She's got to be front and center. She's very comfortable there. And at the end of the day, it's that Leo energy. It's about being fun and playful and great, but at the end of the day, what she says goes. And that's really how it has to be because she wants to be adored, she wants to be liked, but it's not in a Cancer sort of way, which is being overly sensitive about it. And if you are not liked the right way, you crawl into your shell. It's a different kind of need to be adored. It's a need to be adored where like, how dare you not adore me? Like, I'm fantastic.
Like, duh.
Yeah. And so it's a really, so she's got the fact that she's a very successful actor does not surprise me in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's
and
amazing.
why her co-stars have nothing but praise.
Because
she has worked with almost every major lead actor out there.
She has enough of just about everything. The only thing she doesn't have is Earth and grounding. But then if you start to look at her like slower moving planets, it's all Virgo. So there's that energy of making sure things are correct, and it's the Earth Mother energy. So I can see why she kind of has a little bit of. She's got a really nice mix that allows her to interact with almost everybody in whatever way they kind of want, but her still being her own person, which is totally that Aries energy.
She's also really good friends with Son Ye-jin.
Yes.
So we might have to
we might have to dive into that for sure, because she's got all this Earth down here in the Virgo categories with all those slow-moving planets, which relate, if I remember correctly, with Son Ye-jin's chart, she had a lot of Cap energy in her chart. So that's that. So the fact that they're best friends does not surprise me at all.
Cool.
Okay, so then we're gonna move over to a new guy on the scene, and Karen's been into him for a while.
And Maurice is also familiar with.
Oh, that's right. I did not see this movie.
With Teo, who I think we both first noticed in Soul Searching, which is an English language film directed by Benson Lee, starring Justin Chon, and he plays a trilingual. German Korean.
Does he speak German in the movie?
Yes.
Oh my God, I have to watch it now.
And he didn't just learn these languages. He calls his dad. He doesn't just learn these languages for this movie. He speaks all three languages because he was born in Germany.
Yes. He was born in Germany
and so he's now in Arthdal Chronicles.
And he's about to be in Vagabond. Did we all know this? Did you know this? This is news to me. I'm super excited.
You guys told me about that.
So I'm hoping I hope he makes it longer than just one episode in Vagabond. That is my dream.
Yeah.
There are many people disappointed that he was only in Arthdal Chronicles for one episode.
We're hoping for flashbacks. We'll see what happens.
So here's what you need to know about this new guy kind of on the scene. Teo is intense. He's an intense dude.
He strikes me as that way. He's very serious about his work, it seems like.
He is a quadruple Aries.
What?
Quadruple, people.
Wow.
He is an Aries Sun, Mercury,
burning at the
Venus,
core.
And Mars. And his Sun, Venus, and Mars are conjunct.
Which means
what
again?
So that means that all of that energy he can't differentiate between. So who he is, how he acts, and how he relates to people is all the same. It's all the same.
Wow.
And then you throw in, he's also got the Aries energy for Mercury, so you might as well just make it a quadruple conjunction. So the way he thinks, who he is, the way he communicates, how he relates to people, and how he takes action is all about, I think it's a good idea. I'm gonna do it. And so it's aggressive.
And you can't really tell him otherwise, probably.
You cannot. I mean, I think, I think
he might be nice about it, but he's going to do it anyway.
Here's why I think you might be able to get away with it, but after a bunch of pushback, he might concede. He's got a Cancer moon. So that makes him...
Moon is what again?
Moon is your emotional base. So what I find fascinating about this is that he arrived on the planet with 4 planets in... His chart had 4 planets with the most aggressive energy you can get, and he chose a moon, which is your emotional base, with the most sensitive energy you can get. So there are going to be days where this poor boy is just
a wreck.
Just a wreck. Because he's going to be like super aggressive and really want to take care of everything, and this is not the way it should be, and then he's going to realize that
somebody's going to say
no, and he's going to get his feelings hurt, and then he's just going to go hide. So it's fascinating to me. So he's one to keep an eye on. Like, I'm really curious about this one. So yeah, it's going to be super interesting.
I feel like, and I really wish him all the best because I do think he's so talented. I hope this is the beginning of his trajectory that's just going to take off for his career.
I think it will. I think he's definitely got, he's got all the pieces in there. I mean,
Lee Strasberg Institute.
Right?
He's really talented.
He's super talented. And he's also got, he's got the looks and he's also got the energy. Like, there's something about him that you just kind of, it's that Aries energy again. I mean, we talk about Scorpio a lot, but with this much Aries, there's no way you're not watching him because you're like, that's intense. That's a lot of intensity. It's like emanating.
Yeah, there was a scene in Soul Searching where the one where he's speaking German when he calls home, and it's shot from the back. You don't even see his face, and it is one of the most compelling scenes in the entire movie. It's I was just like, I can't look away. And you're looking at his back the whole time.
See?
Yeah.
All right. we expect great things from you.
I'm a fan. What can
All
I
right. So that one, and then we're just gonna go to one. I mean, he's just a collective favorite. He's just.
Who's that, Jen?
You Jung-suk. I love him so much. Like, there's just so much there about him that there's just so much about him that I find compelling. He is an Aries sun again, so we already understand that energy. Like, he is also one of those people, like, if you remember Mr. Sunshine,
Yes.
you could not tear your eyes off of him because he was just, his character in Mr. Sunshine was his Aries energy. Like, that was what all of it was, right? So he's got that, he's an Aries sun, and he's an Aries Venus. So the way he's going to relate to people is also going to be that. So I think that's
Which
why.
seemed very much that character.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that singular focus, like that is a singular focus. So even in relationships, singular focus. This is good for me, singular focus. And so it's really fascinating to me. And then he's got this Leo moon, which I understand completely because that's my moon, right? And that's probably why I like him. Of these 4 guys, like them all, really dig him, but Yoo Jung-suk is the one that gets me right there, right? Because him and I have a conjunct moon. And so that our emotional ideology is the same, right? So emotionally he feels safe when people think he's fun and he's great. And they really like what he's doing and they find him entertaining, and that's where he feels emotionally safe, when he's having a good time and people like what he's doing. So you look at what he's doing with his cafes and that kind of stuff. That gives him that makes him feel good because people. He likes to do good things because he also has this Taurus. He's got this Taurus Mercury, so he likes to make sure things are nice and people are taken care of, and that whole hearth and home and all of that.
And coffee.
And coffee.
Coffee.
But at the end of the day, emotionally, he needs you to appreciate what he's doing, and that's what that is. And so
which is why they're all on television.
Exactly.
Which is why they're publicly available.
But there's. As a Leo moon, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope, not at all.
I approve. And then you look at, wonder but what makes him so sexy? Like, what makes him so sexy to us, right?
Yeah.
He's got a Scorpio Mars, people. So that means that the way he's going to take action for that Aries relationship is delicious.
I see. That makes sense.
We see it, don't we?
So delicious. So basically, if you were to look at our charts, I mean, Yoo Jung-suk hits a bunch of my points all over my chart, so that's pretty much why he gets the big old star for me. My guess is the reason that Teo gets the big old star for Karen is because she's got all this air that is sextiling all of his stuff, because he's got all that Aries, so all of your stuff is sextiling it, so it's like that. It's that yin and yang, which is really nice energy. And then I would have to say, Marisa, you strike me as a Gong Hyo-jin girl.
I do love her.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've got that Scorpio and that Pisces, and you've got a Scorpio and Cancer, and she's got the Leo, and you've got the Leo, and so you guys should just be BFFs.
You need to be part of it.
She needs to be your BFF.
You're the next member of her crew, I think.
Exactly.
Is what I'm hearing.
That is exactly what
it's
needs
in the
to
stars.
happen. And there it is. I think that's a perfect way to end that. Yep.
I think it is too.
Marisa needs to be part of your crew. Gong Hyo-jin,
we have
make
a candidate
that happen.
for you.
Well, that's it, you guys. Do you have any other questions that I could possibly answer about
This has been
Aries?
so great.
If you have any questions, ask me, let me know. We'll dive in. But I think we're going to kind of like do this for each sign and kind of see where it goes. Let us know who you want us to talk about. That was so much fun. Thanks so much. We're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Karen.
I'm Marisa.
And join us over here at our weekly watches where you can find out what we're liking, loving, and dropping, and all sorts of reviews on all sorts of different shows.
Keep the K-drama copy clutch going.
Bye.